Hello, everybody. This is not playing, is it? Oh, it is. Hello. How's it going, everybody? Sorry, it just took me 1 second to get the music rolling. But hello and welcome to another week of streams. Um, it wasn't that long. It was a couple days ago. I did my last one at the Lead Code contest, and we're back today. Okay. Does somebody know anything about Leak Code being down? I think Leak Code was down today. Huh. Um, but yeah, okay, so I'm back. On what's happened? On Saturday after stream, just kind of sat down on my like balcony. I'm just enjoying the sun. I love doing that. It's my favorite like weekend plan. Um, and then I went to like this salsa social with friends, which was pretty fun. Um, yeah, and then Sunday I just kind of took a chill, organized some stuff. I'm planning on posting a video upcoming. I have it mostly ready. I just want to do some finishing details, but I'm kind of excited about this first video. Um, it took me. It's harder than you'd think. Like I had to do like a lot of different takes. But I finally somehow got it down. It's hard to like be in front of camera and then like say things without like stop words and stuff, especially because it's a short form video. And you don't want to be like having like stop words in there and not knowing what you're saying. So you have to have like a very clear picture of what you want to say. Say your piece. Don't have any stop words in between. And just kind of wing it. It was harder than I thought, but sat down for like a couple hours and got it down. I think for the most part. And I learned how to use CapCut, which was fun. It has surprisingly a lot of features. Like it's a very good app for like most of it being free. And today we're back. We're gonna be doing our LLM project, which is that's fun. And this is the background I guess we have today. I was struggling to find something. I couldn't come up with ideas. I thought of Don Quixote, and this is what came up. Like, I think it's like Linux. It's like the Linux penguin, and I don't know why it's on a steel horse, but it's on a steel horse, I guess. Trojan, I don't know. And then it's fighting the Microsoft Windows 2000 Professional Dragon, I guess. Somebody from Russia made that. If you see up there, the RU. And so let me navigate to the webpage. Does it still exist? Maybe don't open this. Looks kind of shifty. Okay, but yeah, we're back. I'm gonna get into it, do our kind of card of the day, and then we'll start with some coding. Today, for this week, we have like this, the project. On Friday, do a little bit late code really fast because I just have like an hour before I have to leave. And then Saturday, another building project thing. And then the week after, there will be another contest, and I think I'll keep rotating them like that. Should be fun. But anyway, let's get into our Lorcana card of the day. Okay. I don't even remember this guy from the movie. I guess he was the dad, but he was barely in it. Anyway, no, he wasn't the dad. Who the hell is somebody's husband? The grandpa? Oh. Oh, he dies at the beginning of the film. I forgot that part. Okay, well, this is Pedro Madrigal, Family Patriarch. It's a 2-cost inkable character. It has 3 strength and 3 willpower. It's a storyborn ally Madrigal. It says this character enters play with 1 damage, and then that's difficult journey, and then devoted family. When you play this character, if you have another Madrigal character in play, you may remove up to 1 damage from him. So it's basically, if you're playing Madrigal, it's a 2/3/3 that quest for 1. It's by artist Hania. I don't know how to pronounce this. Shishevska? This is probably Polish, maybe?
Czyżewska.
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 Okay. So, Ania Czyżewska. It's card 5 out of 204 in English of set 12. That would be Winter Spell? Yes, Whispers in the Well, and then 12 is Winter Spell, and then 13 is Attack of the Vine? No. No, 10 is Whispers in the Well. 11 is Winter Spell. 12 is Attack of the Vine. 13 is the newest one. I keep forgetting what it's called. Wait, into the Inklands or whatever? What was the previous one? Not into the Inklands. That's at 12. Wilds Unknown. I always forget. Oops. Thought it's something related to Vine because in the box, like Woody's swinging on a vine, but the Attack of the Vine is obviously okay. It makes sense. So this is from Wilds Unknown. Right. Wilds Unknown. See, this guy's on the vine. So, well, yeah, it's a vine. So I always think like, oh, well, it's because Attack of the Vine, but no. So this card is pretty bad, in my opinion. There's another character, I forget what it's called. It's a Darkwing. She must not be called Duck. Maybe by franchise? DuckTales. Black Heron. 2 cost 3/3. With no bad side. I mean, this isn't gray. Okay, let's see. What if we go cost 2, strength 3, willpower 3, and then yellow. I mean, this is an uninkable Gaston, so I guess it's one of the only good options here. I mean, I feel like you kind of play this with Madrigal because it's just a 2/3/3, which is good. And then also there's some things you can do with the enter plays with 1 damage if that ends up happening. Okay, let's do Madrigals. They kind of like remove damage and do stuff. See, like this is moving damage, removing damage, removing damage. Like there's some synergy there, but it's okay. It's fine. It's like a vanilla card pretty much. Kind of interesting. I've never seen a lot of this character. Is this the only card that there is about him? It's not. How do you spell that? Yeah, it's the only Pedro Madrigal card. I don't know. Pretty uninteresting. Like, it's okay. It's not bad by any means, but not great either. Alright. Let's get into the coding. Okay, so... Oh! Big thing I did today at work. Okay, we're gonna do the WSL. Alright, I want to do something. Maybe this will work? Yeah. Control W, and I wanted to do something. Key mapping PS1 profile PowerShell to a command. I want to run WSL minus CD. Okay. Nah, I don't want Control Shift W. I want Control W. Okay. How do I reload? Do that. String is missing the terminator. No, it's not. Liar. What do you mean it's missing the terminator? Like, what do you want from me? That makes no sense. Wait. I might know why. Ah. There. What is up, Dara? How are you doing? Not fine. SLS. I haven't started right now. I'm supposed to just work on my project. I'm doing like an agent, like an LLM agent that uses RAG, like Retrieval-Augmented Generation, to ask it questions about research papers and then answer them like a chatbot. Basically, it's a chatbot application where you put in some papers and then you ask questions about them. but then we're using like some smart technology that like allows you to retrieve documents that are related to your query only, so that way you can manage your context window a little bit better. Good. Good. I'm just like right now I'm just stuck. I'm like doing like a PowerShell command and it's not cooperating. What did it say? Oh, Control Z doesn't work on Windows. Great. That's why I like working on Linux. Remove item alias ls. Okay. And now if I do Control W. Um. Oh, is it lower? It's lowercase. I see. So it's a quit, exit. I always get messed up because in Python it's quit, and then in WSL it's exit, and I always get messed up which one's which. Okay. So the problem was that this is supposed to be lowercase. There we go. Okay, so now if I do Control W, let's go. Yeah, and I do personal. And do I have? I don't have fuzzy find. Nope. Okay, let's go install fuzzy find. I've been using all of these different like command utilities at work that I find like really handy. So I want to do them in this computer as well. Windows packages, using Git, binary releases, setting up shell integration. I mean, brew install? Not brew. What do I have? Probably don't have Choco. There's no APT? Do I have Scoop? Nope. Do I have Pac-Man? Nope. Okay. Ubuntu. I don't know what version I am on. Okay, I know it's 26 point something, probably. Oh, wait. APT. They do have it. Okay. Okay. Get all my stuff. And so I'm gonna show you guys one cool thing you can do. I just need to set up the keybinds. So FZF is basically command utility that allows you to do a fuzzy search. And a fuzzy search, basically what it is you input it like some string, and then you're looking for something in that string. So let's say you have a list of all of your files in that directory, and you're trying to find a specific file. You pass it the string with the list of all your files, and then you type in the name of the file you're trying to find. The problem with normal search is that you don't always type it perfectly because you don't know what you're looking for. So what fuzzy find does is like it accepts imperfect searches and ranks them based on how close they are to what you're looking for, and it's very, very fast. And now I need to set up the keybinds, which key bindings. Setting up shell integration. This is bash. So we go to the, is bash rc here? I think, yeah. Dot bash rc. and then source.bashrc. What shell am I running? I am running bash. Oh, do I have an older version? What version do I have? MCF minus version 0.44.1. Well, I see. Okay, let's uninstall this. Sudo apt uninstall Fuzzify. Uninstall apt. Remove. Okay. So now let's use brew. Install. I should have brew in this machine anyway. Install brew Linux. Homebrew. Sure. Yeah. Oh, it's using Git. Nice. Next up section. Installation successful. Run these commands in your terminal to add homebrew to your path. Okay. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, who knows? Okay, we're gonna install these. And now run brew help to get started. Okay, so now if we do brew install FCF. Uh, 0.74.3. That should be newer. Okay. So now we do source.bashrc. Okay. And now there we go. Okay, so this is what I meant to show. So if you see here on key bindings, there is some key bindings that are useful for using with Fuzzify, and maybe it's not clear yet what Fuzzify kind of is, and I'll show you an example of this. Let's see if I remember what. So if I do echo, I don't know, hello world, origami or something, I don't know, and then I pipe that into Fuzzify. If I look up, like, see, I only have one option here. I think I could separate them by like new lines or something. If I look up, or I guess it's not a very good example. Do like this maybe, like new lines. Nope. Okay. Okay, I could do like ls and then Fuzzify. There we go. Okay, so I just passed it the output of ls. I just piped it into fuzzy find, and it has the 4 top level directories. So I can, like, let's say I could have like multiple, like a lot of directories that are hard to like sort through. And so if I want to go look for my Go directory, I could type Go, and only Go would pop up. Or if I want to look for, if I put like an O, only matches that have an O pop up. Like the litrag one goes off because it doesn't have an O. If I put A, only the ones with A match up, and so on and so forth. And this is handy, for example, for something I'll show you. You can set up some keybinds, and then if I do Alt-C, I can cd into a directory. So I can do Alt-C, and then I'm gonna look for my litrag project, and then it shows me recursively all of the directories under the current directory I'm in that have the string litrag in them. And it matches them from like closest to like farthest away. So I want to navigate, let's say, into VectorDB. I could just press here, and it CDs automatically into that directory, which is kind of handy. Another problem I was having, so that's handy for like moving around. There's also other keybinds. I don't know why it moved down. Okay. Key bindings. There's also other keybinds like Ctrl-T, paste the selected files and directories onto the command line. So let's say I don't want to do CD, I want to do, what else can I do? I want to do like an ls, and then I do Ctrl-T, and I want to see what's inside my aliases directory. So it pastes it there, and I can just do enter, and it shows me that there's only a data.json there. Control-R, paste the selected command from history onto the command line. So, do Control-R, and it shows me the history of all the commands I've put in. And I can pick one of them. So if I want to see all my git commands, I can do git, and it shows me all my git commands. And then if I want to do, I don't know, let's do like I probably have like a git status somewhere. Yeah, right here. It pasted on my command line. Which is kind of like, if you're like, oh, I remember I had this command I ran and I don't remember exactly how it went, you can look it up from your history. And yeah, it's just kind of, it's a cool utility. Another thing I was having problems with was, there's this thing in NeoVim, which is my editor, that's called Telescope. And Telescope, what it allows you to do is fuzzy find through your directory. So these are all through your files. So these are all the files that are in my current project. And sometimes I want to navigate to different files. So let's say I want to navigate to my PDF manager. I can type PDF manager, and then I can enter, and it navigates to that file. However, I was having this problem, and I think you'll see it in a second. If I do search grep, grep basically is a utility that allows you to search within the file. So like find files, which was the previous thing we saw, found like files in the directory, but this looks inside those files for like keywords. So if I want to look for like print or something, I want to look for like print statements, I can do like console or something. I'm just gonna look for class. That's not gonna be very helpful. I'm gonna leave it very broad, and I think if I do this, it might crash. It's not crashing. Okay, my work computer was crashing. Okay, let me do that. Well, I guess this one doesn't crash, but I'll do the fix anyway. If I go to Telescope, in my telescope.setup, enable previous true, but then tree sitter equals false. So now the files aren't highlighted with tree sitter, which was what was making it crash in the first place. Yeah, it's just like tree sitter got updated, and there's some things that are messed up, but I figured it out at work. So, okay, that's it for my fixes. Now we can get into the project. It says collections. Okay. I don't remember how to run any of this. We're gonna figure it out. So let me do my Control W, C, and then I'm gonna do Alt C. Alt C doesn't work. Did I not put it here? Okay, I guess we're putting it in here. So we're grabbing this. And now go to the bottom and do that. Okay, now I'm gonna exit. Exit. And then I'm gonna go back in. And now if I do Alt C, there we go. So now I can go into my litrag directory. I just wanna go into litrag and I can go there easily. And now I wanna start one of the services. Now let me do that. I guess I can't do that with this. Lit. And I have to start another one to actually start my the API. So I'm gonna open another window. Now I have these three. I can start the API saying .NET run -- project, and then it's gonna be in source litrag.api. Okay, so that runs my API. And how do you run Qwen again? Yes. Okay, let me see if I do Control R. Docker run this command. Looks right. Okay, Qwen's running now. Okay, I have both of my services running. And I think what we did last time, if I'm not mistaken, if I go here, and then we go look at our program.cs, there's this /vector.db that basically took some embeddings and then generated the embeddings of hello world and inserted them in my vector database. So let's test that again. Not 653, but I mean, this is nice to have anyway. /dashboard. Okay, and 5278 /vectordb. This is gonna load the model in LM Studio, create the embeddings, and save them in Qwen. Just take some time to actually like load the model, I believe. Yeah. So I think it worked. So now I should have 2 points. I had 1, now I have 2. And if I run this again, I should have 3 points now. Yeah, and so on and so forth. And I can open the graph and show the 3 points, which should be the exact same place, I think. I actually don't know how this works, but I guess you can visualize them, and that's kind of cool. Alright, so there's a couple of things I wanted to fix from last time. One of them is dependency injections, which I don't know how to do, but we're going to figure out today. So there's this pattern in object-oriented programming that's called a singleton, and that means that it's something where you can have only one of them. It's basically, sorry, a class where you can only instantiate one object of that class. If you instantiate a second object, it doesn't work, or it just returns the original object. You only want one of them at a time. You only want one of them in general. And the reason for this is Sometimes you want a service and you don't want to spawn multiple instances of that service, so you just want one that everybody uses so that you're not using extra resources for no reason. One such example is web apps. In the backend, for example, I have this vector database. I don't want to have multiple vector databases. I want to have one source of truth that all of my requests point to get information. Right? I only want to have one database. If I create one new data, I wouldn't create actually a new database, but if I create a new connection for the database on every request, it would be a waste of resources. Instead, I create at the beginning of the app, I create one connection to the database, and then I reuse that same connection while the app is running. And then when the app is down, it just closes that connection. That's basically what the singleton pattern is. And we can do that here. I just don't know how. And so we're gonna, I think I asked this to Claude last time. Oh, this is something else. Maybe here. Okay. How do you do a singleton for the vector database connection? Okay, so you create a builder. Do I have a builder already? Yes, I do. And you pass it args. So I'm guessing these are the like arguments for the app, but I don't actually pass any arguments anyway. So we're actually gonna create. Oh no. You do pass just args. Builders are services that add singleton. Okay. So here we do this, and I don't know then how you access it. We're gonna figure it out. So new vector DB. This is what I should be using instead. Return new Qwen client and vector db.cs. I actually need to import these because we're not using. So then how do I builder.build? Yep, that's in there. Then inject anywhere via construction injection. Oh, you can just do that. Ah. Okay, so this handles the singleton pattern for you. If you see here, it's a singleton of service of the type specified in Qwen client with a factory specified in implementation factory to specify a service collection. It just handles creating a singleton. Like you can actually like create the class and handle that yourself, but .NET provides a utility for that. And now here, see, it gives me an error because there's already a client. So read only Qwen client. And then when we create it, we're gonna say client is gonna be equal to client. That doesn't work. And I'll do this in a second. Qwen client. Oh, you pass it a client. Okay. There you go. Now it works. And now we have to change all of our instances of client to be client. Now that works. Use primary constructor. I don't know what that means, but sure. Okay. that helps. I don't like this song. Yeah, okay, that's the default constructor. That's cool. So now actually, when we do this, we can just pass the client. So here, VDB, we can just pass our client instead of instantiating anyone. How do I app dot, does this exist? How do I access the client now that I've created this singleton inside my program.cs? App.services. You're calling it from an endpoint handler, just had as a parameter. The DI connector resolves it automatically per request. Okay. So we pass it in here. And now we create the client. Nice. But actually, I think it's a better idea, instead of creating a Qwen client, so if I go to vector DB, I actually create a vector DB, and like this is like my own abstraction for it. So let me reverse all the changes I had here. Maybe not all of them. Okay, so we go here, and when we are creating this, we do a read-only Qwen client, and actually here I can pass it string, what is it, host, and then port, and port, and then this is gonna be equal to, should they access the client? No. This is gonna be equal to new Qwen client host port. Sure. Now I can delete this. And now if I go back to program.cs, here, instead of creating a singleton of a Qwen client, I create a singleton of a vector DB of, and then I need the configuration for it. Which, how do I do? App settings.json. I do this. Config that, get value. And then we return a new vector db host port. And how do I create the app settings.json? Oh, there already exists one. And we can create this. Yeah. Now instead of creating a new vector db, here actually we would be passing vector db, and we're going to call it vdb. And so here we don't need this line. And it should automatically handle it according to this. How does it know what's what? Buff. Okay. So we added the singleton for this. Okay. And now here, we also need to create a singleton for our embeddings model. So let's grab that. We don't need config for this, and we return a new embeddings model. Okay, and now we can pass our embeddings model. Embeddings, no comma here, embeddings model. And so we don't need this line anymore because we have a singleton for it. See how cool it is? Ow. Okay, it'd be good for the embedding. Should it be a post request? Yeah, because you're inserting a point. So we'll call it map post. And besides these, we're also gonna get from body. We're gonna get a string text. So now we don't need this either. We can just pass it in our post request. Cool. So now I can embed any string I want. If I run the API again, hopefully it doesn't crash. Okay. So I can open a new window. Actually, no, I'll show another cool thing. So in Bash, and I just discovered you can't really do it in PowerShell. You can do, if you're in any process. So right now, like my Neovim, my editor, it's a process in the terminal in my Bash, right? If you have any process running, you can put it in the background for a second to access the terminal again. So if I do Control Z, it closes my editor. It doesn't actually close it, puts it in the background, so I can access it later. But it puts it in the background, and I can access my terminal again. And now I can do curl -x. I think it's post. Curl post request. I think I set it up to receive just text. I forget exactly how this works. How to send a curl post request with just text in the body. Okay, so let's copy that. So you don't actually need to say -x post or whatever. I can do here HTTP localhost. What is the base? 5278. slash vector db, and this is my plain text body. So if I do that, it does it automatically, and now I should have another point here. Collections, 4 points. Nope. Okay, let's do verbose because it might have failed. Unsupported media type. Ah. What do you want to receive then? Okay, and then once you want to bring it back from the background, you can do FG, and that brings it to the foreground. And I'm back on my editor again. So it's supposed to receive from body string text. Okay, let's just ask Claude. How do I send a pull request to this API endpoint? Oh, it's JSON. Okay. Okay, so now we do Control Z again, and we run this command. And I'm gonna add a flag before, like here. I'm gonna say -v for it to be verbose. It's on 5,000. 5278. Okay, it returned 200. So now if I go to Qwen, I refresh. Now I see my point right here. And I send this section discusses the methodology used in the study. And there it is, right there. Okay, so we have a route that receives some text and then creates embeddings and registers the point in the database, which is cool, isn't it? Okay. So now that we've wired that up, okay, let's just quit that, and if I do FG, it brings it back. Okay. Now, okay. What do we want to do next? I want to be able to create a point for every single chunk that I have. So I want to chunk a document and then create a point for every single one of the chunks that it creates. The chunking is done, where is it? New section parser agent, parse sections PDF. I think it's done here. Yes, it's for it to parse the sections, and inside it's when it actually does the agent and with the instructions, and then returns all the sections. Okay. What does this do then? Parse. Okay, so this this actually gets, so in this you pass some strings, and this one it actually just chunks whatever's in here. Now I want to connect basically this to the other route, to this part, and I'm just gonna wire it up here. For now, after we're done this, maybe I'll start creating a front end for the app. I think it might be a good time for that. But for now, I think we can do that. Oh, that was not a good idea. Okay. Okay, so now we do vector VB VDB, and we also receive the embeddings model. Okay. Now we don't pass it text. We don't pass it text. What we pass it is for every one of our chunks. For each. Nothing yet. There's no front end. Right now it's just an API. I will be using Angular most likely. I'm trying to learn Angular, so that's why I want to use it. For each var chunk in chunks, we grab these three, we paste them. Await VDB create collection. Actually, probably don't need to create the collection, but whatever. Generate embeddings chunk. And insert point. Embedding the vector to array and then the original text. So chunk. And then we do results set okay. Fair enough. Okay. So we do that. Get chunk. Sure. So that's running. Let's actually go into Qwen and we're gonna delete all these points. Now we have no points in our collection anymore. Collection papers. So now if I go and make a get request to chunk, it's gonna take a while. Right? And then it's actually gonna insert all the chunks into the DB. Hopefully. So now if you see here, it spins up Qwen and it starts parsing my document and generating the sections. Hopefully it'll do it right and it won't crash the stream. We're still up. We're still running. Okay, good. I'm using a much weaker model, so sometimes it doesn't parse them properly. I haven't built like a proper parser for it, so we're just hoping it does it properly the first time. Okay, so we just leave it some time for it to actually parse the document into the different sections and then chunk it. Okay. Why did it keep going? I don't know why it kept going. Did it run out of context? No, it generated a prediction. Do I have thinking turned on? Yes, I do. Okay, still going. What is my... Okay, I have the 15,000 tokens. That's the context window. Okay. Expected the input to start with a valid JSON token. Okay, so it didn't parse them properly this time. We're gonna do something. We're gonna disable thinking. Even though it's actually doing it pretty fast. Just disable it. Just like it better. And let's redo that. Does the prefill, it reads the query, generates a response. And we're just hoping it doesn't rain. Did it insert any points? Probably not. Yeah. What are segments? Okay. Don't know. No. My position in line. Okay. Did it run out of tokens? Prompt tokens, completion tokens. It ran out of tokens. It needs way more tokens. Okay. Let's eject the model. Okay, let's eject the model for now. Load it again. Where's the load button? There we go. Load Qwen 4.5b. We're gonna make the context window a little bit bigger. So I think 25,000 should be enough. It's 40 gigabytes. That's like a third of my GPU. Hopefully my stream doesn't crash. I don't think I can disable thinking yet, but we will. We disable thinking. No thinking. Okay, now it's loaded, and now we do it again. We hope for the best. It should generate around like 10 to 15,000 tokens. So 25,000 should be fine. Like it's receiving 10,000 tokens as input. So it has to spit out like the same, it has to spit out the same content, just like divided into sections. I mean, there might be some less because I ask it to remove any unnecessary content. But for the most part, it should be the same. By the way, like I know I might be moving through things a little bit fast. I don't know where like everybody's like knowledge level with like LLMs and running them locally and RAG and all that stuff is. If you have any questions at any point, let me know. I can explain. Like as you can see, I have a lot of time to explain because this takes a long time. Eventually, like right now, the request just like stays hanging. I wanted so to make it so that it's kind of like a subscriber. So actually maybe I don't need to, but it might be a good idea to not leave the request hanging, and instead you just create a job, and then eventually when the job I'm new to it. Okay. What's okay, where do I start? Is there anything you don't understand that you would like me to explain? Because there's a lot of things that I'm touching here and there. I don't want to just kind of like go crazy. In simple terms, what are we doing? We're basically so this window right here, this is my LM Studio. LM Studio is an app that allows you to run AI models locally, right? At this moment, I'm running a very small model from Alibaba that is Qwen 3.5 4B. 4B stands for 4 billion parameters. 4 billion sounds like a lot. 4 billion is actually really small for LLM models. I decided to run it locally because it's just part of like the series and like learning how to run models locally. So for like the first few episodes where we were doing this project, I actually showed people how to like run your own local models. And what a local model allows you to do, with the advantages of them, is instead of let's say using ChatGPT, using Claude, where you're sending all the information you type into their servers, you can host them locally, and that information never leaves your computer. Additionally, it's free. Like, you just need to download the weights of the model, and then you can run them locally in your machine, and you're basically only paying for whatever energy your machine is using, but you're not paying anybody for like an API or for tokens. Like, I know for most parts like ChatGPT is free, but if you want to get into like the higher tiers, you have to pay, and then you have some limits. This is like unlimited, and you can use it as much as you want. So those are the advantages of using a local model. First, like, you don't send your information to like a private server for like Open API for like OpenAI, and it's free. So those are the advantages. So this app, LM Studio, which is the app that's currently on the screen right now, allows you to run local models. So this is one part of my project. And what this LLM does is right now it's taking some research document. So actually, let me open an example. Source, core, sample papers. I think it's opening this PDF. It's opening some research. It's taking basically all of this PDF paper with research, and it's parsing the different sections. So it's taking the abstract and separating it from the introduction and separating it from the related work. It's taking this whole document and separating it into different sections. I was trying to do it like with code before, but it was very hard to actually parse sections because there's no consistent formatting. So in these cases of where something's like not deterministic, or like you have like ambiguous like content, it's best to use LLMs. Why is there a button to share text to WhatsApp on my Adobe? Anyway, so it's best to use LLMs for this case because it's kind of ambiguous. It's hard for computers to parse. I'm sure I could build a rule that works for like 90% of documents, but it's never going to work for all of them because somebody could just create a research paper that just doesn't follow any conventions. So it's best to use LLMs because they're a little bit smarter than I am. And it also allows me, besides parsing sections, just removing some of this text that's kind of annoying when you're parsing it. So that's what the LLM does. That's one of the models I'm running. Another model I'm running is an embeddings model. So another part of this project, it's called RAG. RAG stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So RAG solves a problem that we have with LLMs, and that is how to manage your context. So the idea with this project is to be able to take some, I'm just gonna go into full camera here, is to be able to take some research papers and input them into the app, and then you have a chatbot where you ask questions to it. One way you could do it without creating an app at all is just paste all of your PDF documents into ChatGPT and then ask questions then. The problem with that is you might only be asking questions about one of the documents, but you're pasting all of your documents inside the AI. That is a waste of tokens that confuses the LLM, and you need some better way to manage your context, right? You need a better way for the LLM to only retrieve the documents or the specific sections that answer the question you're asking. So that's where RAG comes in. So what RAG basically does is a smart way, without going into details because I feel like I don't even understand them that much in detail. It's some smart way that when you're asking a question, it retrieves from some sort of database what the most relevant chunks of text are to answer your question. And it does it by like some similarity. It uses embeddings to compare the embeddings of the question you're asking to the embeddings of some chunks of your document. And so then I can say, retrieve the 5 pieces of text from all of the PDFs I uploaded that are most similar to the question I'm asking, And so it's going to put only those 5 pieces of text inside the context of the LLM. And so that way you're not uploading all of your documents, you're only uploading small pieces of text. The 5 most important pieces of text, you're uploading them to your context. And so you're not wasting tokens, and you're only pulling the sections of the PDFs that are relevant to the question you're asking. So that is the idea behind RAG, if it worked. Timeout. Okay. Okay, what are we gonna do? Maybe upload a smaller document? Yeah, it's just like basically some like smart technology that like some smart people invented to manage the context, because people are very worried right now with like managing context of your application. So the context is a very limited resource you get for an LLM, and the more information you give it, the more you confuse it. So you want to keep your context to the minimum. So systems like this and harnesses, which I'll explain in a second, are some like cool tools that help you manage the context of your LLM. A harness, let me just run this again. We'll see if it works or not. A harness is basically, how to explain this? A harness is like a sandbox you put your LLM in, where this sandbox, this harness, helps you manage your context, and it helps you manage the memory, and it helps you like do multiple rounds. It basically enables agentic querying or prompting. And agentic prompting, so like before, when LLMs first came in, you basically just exactly. Yeah, I mean, RAG doesn't really solve this. Like that's more specific to like running local models versus models in the cloud with like AI, OpenAI and stuff like that. But yes, that's one of the main concerns with like running local LLMs. A harness basically allows. I was talking about agentic prompting. So before, when LLMs first came out, you sent like one chat at a time, and it kind of like you really didn't have to worry about like doing it for long periods of time. You had one question, you sent it, it answered it, and then you're pretty much satisfied. As the needs for AI evolved, we're turning into longer horizons for the amount of like context we're using for LLMs. So right now we're using LLMs for coding, and when you're coding, you have very very big context because you have all your different files. So you have all of your different files, right? And so on these long horizons where like you're solving like a problem and then you're spending like hours and hours just prompting an LLM, you need some sort of like smart system that helps you handle the context, your memory, that helps you handle like long turns of like speaking to this LLM. So that's what harnesses enable. They have like a lot that also like enables like tools, MCPs, skills, and like a lot more tech that it's really handy when you're doing agentic coding or agentic when you're building agents. Hopefully it doesn't time out again. I don't know why it's sending 2 requests. I think this doesn't make so much sense to me. Chapter completion. Maybe let's look at the code. So it gets I get the folder, I get the file, I parse it, I append all pages into a string, I pass it into a section parser agent that parses all the text, I get the parse sections, For each of the parse sections, I chunk the words. Yes, that's what I was gonna go do next. Client disconnected. See, I don't know why it's doing it. Is it running out of tokens? So here it's not actually finishing the thing. How many tokens are you using? Doesn't say. I'm thinking it's probably running out of tokens. No, because it has two messages on the conversation. So it's doing multiple turns. For some reason. Maybe that's my agent configuration. Okay, but let's try what you were saying, which is a smaller PDF document. That's probably a good idea. Right now we're using understanding the language of ADHD and autism communities on social media. Kalantari. It's that one. This is supposed to be smaller. This is 25 pages. What was the other one? The other one's 9. Okay. I think I picked already the smallest one I had. But okay, it doesn't have to be a research paper, I guess. Yeah, that is the smallest one I got, but it doesn't have to be a research paper. Let's just use a PDF, like another PDF. Maybe we can use my resume. Yeah, sure, let's use my resume. So, I'm gonna copy this, go back. Okay. Now, we're gonna say resume. Okay. The agent's probably not gonna make much sense of this. Section parser agent. Let's see the prompt. Research article PDFs. Okay. Well, maybe not. Let's not use my resume then. Small research papers. Give me an example of a complete, all important research sections, but very small PDF. Yeah, this just I can do it without, like, if I find a PDF that's small, I can just do this. That could be the next step of like just parsing the first 2 papers. Did it create a PDF? Oh, this is just 2 pages. Okay, cool. Let's see if it's able to parse it. Okay, download. Or not. Micro research paper. Sure. Micro research paper.pdf. Let's kill the API. Okay, it's running again. So now it's a way shorter paper. Instead of 9, it's just 2 pages. Okay. Now, redo that. Okay, I think it worked. 7 points. Okay, so it chunked it into 7 sections. So we have this text that says the results confirm the periodic ciliary movement relaxation. Okay, let's actually put them side by side. Okay. Randomized, this is the methodology. A randomized cohort of healthy adults, and it's in VAS. Okay, that's the methodology. Digital eye strain. Where, okay, that's the abstract. And it's with interaction. Then mean VAS with fatigue scores. Prolong, this is introduction. Results and data. These are the references. And the results confirm this is the discussion and conclusion. So it parsed every single one of the sections. Normally, like for bigger documents, your sections are gonna be like way longer. So I have a system set up so that it chunks them into different parts. So in my methodology, let's say it's like 2 pages. It doesn't put the whole 2 pages into one chunk. It separates that methodology into different chunks. But here the sections are small enough that they can be chunks on their own. And we can actually like open the graph, I guess. And I don't know what this does or means, but yay. How do you query? What do I do with this? Don't know. I think this might be something I leave for another day. Because I think this is going into a little bit of a different rabbit hole of like how do you actually query this. But I think that's a good idea to do on next stream, which I'll probably start building the front end in Angular. And to begin with, what I'll do is I will have like a chat, like a box where I type in a question, and it doesn't actually like send any questions to the LLM. It just looks at the vector DB and returns the queries that are most similar to that question, and that's what it does. We can do that on next stream, and then in the stream after, we can actually like plug it into like an LLM and return those files into the context and ask it the question, and it can answer the questions and return citations to the specific fragments. But that's gonna be it for me now. Another thing I should probably do is look into the agent and see why it's doing like multiple rounds. Thank you, the Watcher J9K. Also, I don't know if I know you in real life, but thank you for joining today. I really appreciate it. I like being able to talk to somebody. Like I haven't been able to link up your streams, so it's kind of nice to be able to like run through my thought process and explain stuff. But yeah, I want to do like for this section parser agent. Yes, I can show you which. I said the last. Oh, my bad. I remember somebody else. Oh, awesome. Are you Ashad? Or I might be misremembering your name. Sorry about that. Let me see what the stream is where I actually set up the local LLM. I'm sorry. Okay, so I think. Okay, so I did get the name right. Topics is one of the single hardest education problems. I think around the end here, I do it with a llama, which is not the best idea for like this type of work. You can't do it with a llama. But okay, so you can look at this one, the console logs 3. Actually, I'll send the link. Problems I could think of explaining quantum physics. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, so this at the end, close. Okay, what is it then? I'll remember for next time. I'll send you this. Can I share it at this? Fair enough. Okay. So this is a video I set up a local LM like around that time I'm sending. And then like a couple streams back, I think last stream was when I set up the local LLM. Let me see. Sisyphus solving. Was it here? I have LM Studio running. How to turn off reasoning? I think I probably set it up on the stream. Okay, let's see. At the beginning of the stream, do I have it open? I do. Okay, so maybe it's the stream before. Oh, yeah, because that's the second part of the stream. Yeah, I think this might be the stream where I actually set it up. Okay, and I'll send you this as well. Oh, not what I meant to do. Okay, and then that's the other one. So this is the last one I sent you is the one where I set up the like LM Studio, which is what we're doing today. The first one I sent is Olama. Wait, I do know you, Kemp. Yeah, like in Ingabire is your last name? The first one is running Olama. Which it also like allows you to run local LMs. It's just probably not good for this purpose. And then LM Studio is the other one, which is also there. If you wanna like play around and like set it up. First, okay, so Ingabire Kemp, then. Anyway, like I'll call it Kemp. Sounds fair? Or the Watcher, Kemp or the Watcher. I'll write it down for myself. Bam, bam. Okay. Well, Kemp, thank you for coming today. I appreciate it. And yeah, like if you want to like set up your own local LM, like there's like a lot of tutorials online, but also if you want to check out my content, it'd be really cool. But yeah, thank you today for joining and asking questions and stuff. And I'm gonna be off until Friday because I have a busy week. And then Friday I'm gonna be doing just some lead code. So if you're more interested in like the LLM part, just probably tune in Saturday when I'm back doing this project again. Friday's just gonna be like a short hour of doing just some lead code problems. And it's all on my LinkedIn. You said you already follow me there. It's all on my LinkedIn, like the events, the following events are there. So if you want to register for them, it like notifies you a little bit before. But anyway, thank you for joining, and I'll see you again on